Right, class, let's come to attention. How do you guys feel today? Awesome, sir. Let's bow. And let's start off with our student creed. Ready, set, position. Student creed. Student creed, sir. Line 1. I pledge to develop myself in a positive manner. Line 2. I pledge to use what I learn in class constructively and defensively. Line 3. I pledge to foster friendships and contribute to my community. And let's bow. All right, everybody, we got 4 warm-ups this week. We're starting off with a brand new one. We've got 45 seconds of bucket punches. We'll get to an explanation in just a second. We've got 45 seconds of mountain climbers, of wide grip push-ups, and then we're wrapping it up with our starfish drill at the end. So let's go ahead and get started. So bucket punches. We're gonna have our feet wide apart, kind of like this. You're gonna have to find a width that works for you. I'm gonna sink to a lunge on one side, rotating my hips, and I'm gonna punch straight down. Then I'm gonna bring it back up, shift to the other side, and punch down there. So 45 seconds, bucket punches. We're alternating sides. All right, guys, on your marks, get set, and go. Again, 45 seconds. This is my first time doing these too. See if you can find a pace that you can keep up for 45 seconds. We're about 15 seconds in now, so you got 30 seconds left. You're a third of the way there. Hopefully you've got an idea of your pace. If you need to speed it up a little bit, if you need to slow it down. 20 seconds left. 15 seconds. Keep it up, everybody. Hopefully you're feeling it in the quads there too. I know I'm starting to. Under 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and break. Nice job, guys. I'm back to using these just to make sure that my wrist stays safe, guys. We've got mountain climbers next. So you're gonna grab, or I guess you wouldn't grab onto these, but at home you'd be in a push-up position, palms flat on the ground. Now, for mountain climbers, one foot comes forward, then the other foot. If you'd like to, you can do a jump switch, or you can bring the knee up towards the chest. I prefer the jump switch method. I think it gives us a little bit better of a workout, but right, if you'd like to do this, that's another method to do this. One of those ones that's got a whole bunch of versions, right? Depending on how hard you want the workout to be. Again, 45 seconds. Any questions? I guess I can't get an answer online like this, so let's have some fun. 45 seconds, ready, set, go. Remember, guys, to keep breathing through all of these warm-ups. Especially in a little bit as we get to our starfish drill. We're gonna be working the abs. You wanna make sure you breathe as you do that. Even though you're holding the abs tight, squeezing your abs, it doesn't mean you should stop breathing or try to hold your breath, I should say. We're at the 25-second marker. We got 20 seconds left. Keep it moving. Keep those feet moving. Down to 12 seconds. 10 seconds. Oh, yeah. We got 4, 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, for next warm-up, 45 seconds of wide grip push-ups. So remember, with a wide grip push-up, means your hands aren't under your shoulders, but they're a little bit wider out. You want your elbows to stay wide with your hands. You can see my elbows should be right behind my hands. If my hands were a little bit closer, then I'd want my elbows to tuck in by my sides. If my elbows stay wide, my hands have to rotate like this. If I kept them straight where they should be in a push-up, you can see my palms starting to point towards each other. Not good for wrist health, right? So elbows stay tucked if the hands are in close. Since we're wide, we're gonna keep our hands wide too. 45 seconds. Again, I'm gonna use these 7 wrist issues. Ready? 45 seconds, begin. Now on this one, that breathing technique, you wanna, you can tell as I go through my sentences, right? Breathe on the hardest part when you're fighting gravity. So I can accept gravity as I lower, and I'm gonna breathe away. I'm breathing the ground away from me. We got 15 more seconds. Still try and get that same depth you got on the first one. 2, 1, and break. All right, everyone, we've got our starfishes to wrap this up. Let's go ahead and break fall. For starfishes, you're gonna have your feet apart, hands to the side. When I say up, you're gonna take everything and pick it off the ground about an inch. The goal is not to point them all the way up to the sky or the roof, but to keep them as close to the ground as you can. Great ab workout. Ready? And then of course, when I say down, you let your hands and your legs back down. You don't have to stay like that forever. Ready, on your marks, get set, and up. Like I mentioned before, keep breathing. Muscles need that oxygen. 3, 2, 1, and down. Let's just relax for a second here. Remember, we've got some pinions coming up in just a second. We've got some sparring after that. Ready, and up, and down. Nice quick one, up. Woo. That was just to trick you into false sense of security that you could rest longer. Oh, we're 5 seconds into this one. Now about 10 seconds. Let's go about 5 more. 3, 2, 1, and down. Very nice. Last one. Best one, sir. Going just a tiny bit longer. Ready. Starting in 4 seconds. 2, 1, and up. Try and keep your neck neutral. When you don't pick it up like this, you're going to start to strain it. Try and keep it in line with the spine. You know it's good because it rhymes. That's not always true. Don't turn your head to the side like this either. I can feel that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Let's stand up, everybody. Excellent work with those warm-ups. Go ahead and start stretching. Anything that you really need to stretch, we need to pause the video a little bit to get them in. Please do so. Make sure you are nice and warmed up before we go into our pinions and our sparring, especially when we got a kick coming up. But first, message of the week. So our message of the week is just an amazing one because it's impactful to anybody. It doesn't matter who you are or what you've done. The message of the week this week is lengthen your line, lengthen your own line. The idea behind this message of the week is that you want to look to your own skill and your own progress and measure where you have been to where you are now and not compare it to someone else around you. Hence, lengthen your line, right? Not worrying about how skilled somebody else is in a field, right? One reason is because it's not fair to you and it's not fair to them. Take martial arts, for example, right? One thing, just to start it all off, we're all gonna have different specialties, right? Some people come into the martial arts and just love pinions, right? And so they focus a little more energy on that. Some people love Philippine martial arts and working with sticks, or some people love sparring, or some people love, right? There's a whole bunch of different things. So we're all gonna have a little bit of a different specialty. But let's say that a blue belt comes up and they say, man, my back knuckle isn't nearly as quick as that black belt's. I feel awful about that. Well, that's not fair to the blue belt, right? That black belt's probably been training a really long time, right? They worked on that back knuckle a lot more. That blue belt's made a lot of progress on their back knuckle since they started, right? So it's not fair to them. But if they turn around and say, hey, look at this person who's starting their first day, their back knuckle's so bad, mine's so much better, so much faster, well, that's not fair to either of them either because, right, that's giving that blue belt the false sense of pride of like, yeah, my back knuckle's so good. And you can be excited and happy about your back knuckle, but it should be from your own progress. It's not fair to the beginner either because we all started there, right? It doesn't matter what rank you are. We all started as a white belt. My back knuckle was probably awful, right? I probably had no chamber in my front kick. So it's not fair either way. And then an even bigger point. Lengthen your line. Make sure you compare your own skill because the moment that you start to compare yourself to another is the moment that you stop growing. It's the moment you stop worrying about your own progress and you start focusing on just the people around you. So lengthen your line. Make sure that you are familiar with where you've been. Make sure you feel great about what you've accomplished, right? But don't compare your skill to someone else's. Don't stop your own growth because you're concerned about what the people next to you are doing and what they have done. So again, lengthen your line, focus on your progress, and think to yourself, am I better today than I was yesterday? That's our message of the week. Lengthen your line. We've got some pinions coming up next. All right, Pinion 1B team, guys. Hey, we get a chance to review our pinion real quick. Just a reminder that it is tip testing week, so we should all feel pretty comfortable with these moves. Just want to make sure we touch on some of those more challenging parts or some of the parts that I might be looking a little bit closer on for tip testing this week. So let's jump ahead. Awesome. So guys, those first couple moves were a whole bunch of cross blocks, right? 5 last time left us in a horse stance. And I know I would be facing to one side. I'm going to mirror you just for a second here so we can see these moves a little bit easier. So 6 was that cross block down low. 7, cross block high. 8, side to side. And then 9 was the chop towards the front of the room. Now, as you do this, the feet aren't moving. But the things that I'm focusing a little bit more on that I'd like you to look at to continue to work on are which hand is on top and how our chop moves. So anytime you do a cross block, the right hand is always going to be on top of the left. So if I'm going this way here, you can see right from left. Right hand is always going to be on top of the left here. And as I go from like an upward cross block to a lower cross or downward, the hands actually don't change. So it's always the right hand that's going to be on top. The second thing, that chop and how it moves. Our goal is to make it as quick and as straight of a line as possible. So if my arm swings here, that takes a long time, right? Elbow first, hand second. At an angle here, elbow first. Notice my hand is kind of hanging around by my shoulder, and then the elbow extends to allow my chop to hit. Those 2 things that I'm looking for in those first 4 moves. Now, adding in move number 10. Let's say that we started our pinion facing towards that wall. We would have had move number 4 facing the right, and then 5 to the left. This is where we left off. So we had 6 and 7, 8, and 9. For move number 10, make sure the left leg, the back leg, the one that's farther from the screen is the one that's going to step. Step up, transition if you'd like to have it. And then I know you can't see right now, but my left hand is punching. And the big reason that I wanted to face this direction is you can see the gap between my feet here, right? That's an important part of a forward stance. If I have in a straight line, you can already tell I'm starting to lose my balance, right? Make sure you've got a nice solid stance and punch right out in front of you. One last quick tip and something that can help a lot, especially with punches, is if you've got a mirror that you can use, or I know that at a lot of points I use just a window at night or had the lights inside and I could punch towards it. Not hitting it, right? But I could punch towards it and I could look to my arm, or to my hand, I should say, in the window and see if it was in a straight line coming off my shoulder. If it looks like this, you can tell it punches to the side because you can see the side of my arm. Same thing over here, you can see the inside. Or if I punch down, you can see the top of my hand. So my goal is to do this punch and make sure that all I can see are my knuckles right in front of my shoulder. Let's go ahead and get 2 more run-throughs of this pinion. Let's assume the white wall here is the front of our room, okay? Turn to the left of that, go to that horse stance. We just did upward cross block, open hand, 5. 6 and 7 are both cross blocks, closed hand. Ready? 6, 7. 6, 7, sir. Side to side on your left side. 8. 8, sir. Chop to the front of that right hand, 9. 9, sir. And then step and punch, 10. 10, sir. Good. One more time. Ready? Come back to that horse stance. Cross blocks first, 6, 7. Side to side, 8. 9. And then 10. Hey, let's get one bonus one in here, okay? I'm gonna call the number out and then I'm gonna wait about a second or 2 until I actually do the move. I want you to see if you can do the move before me, all right? Go to that horse stance. Move number 5. Ready? And 6. Remember what it is. Downward cross block. 6, sir. 7. It's the opposite. Goes up. 7, sir. 8. Side to side on your left side. And 9. It's the chop. And then finally 10. That punch. Awesome, guys. That is Pinion 1 Part B. Again, just a quick review today. Hopefully it's all feeling good. Remember, we have tip testing this week on that, so make sure you submit your video, or if you haven't already and you'd like to do it instead, you can sign up for a private lesson. You can follow the link in Discord. Top left side should have a channel called Private Lesson Information. But that's it for Pinion number 1, Part B. Let's jump ahead. We've got some sparring next. Sparring this week, we're going to add a little bit on to what we did last week. So, last week you probably remember being in our sparring stance here, right? And we talked about our back knuckle punch and getting away. And then we talked about doing that same back knuckle punch, but as soon as you hit, right, our partner starts to fade away, we're taking this back leg and coming up with a roundhouse kick to the head. So, adding just a tiny bit onto this, we're gonna do a double back knuckle at the beginning. Really getting that quick motion with the hand. And sometimes if you get 2 strikes in the same spot, you can catch your partner off guard, right? So, try to get that quick motion with that lead hand. So sparring stance here, you slide in, you got the 1, 2, boom, punch follows up. Remember keeping that hand up, even though we just did pinions, we might have this habit, we're trying to keep it up by our head. Back leg coming around, roundhouse, setting it down. Scoot on back, and let's do it again. Right, we got that 1, 2, punch, and then roundhouse kick. You may notice I'm getting like 2 quick slides, a quick succession there. You can just go 1, 2, and punch with 1 slide, whatever feels more comfortable for you, all right? So, again, sparring stance. We slide in, 1, 2, punch, and roundhouse kick. Good. Let's do it again. Scoot on the back. 1, 2, punch, and roundhouse kick. Now, before we just get some quick time to practice that and drill it, right? We want to talk about our footwork and how we're moving, how we're keeping our weight distributed, where we're facing, all that stuff, right? Because our footwork is going to dictate where we move is going to dictate how our hands can connect to our target, and it's going to really influence our sparring as a whole. So, first thing, weight distribution, right? I want to, for as much as I can, keep 50% of my weight on each foot. And this is just a way for me to make sure that I'm not signaling, I'm not telegraphing to my partner about what I'm going to do. So, for example, let's say I'm in my sparring stance here, and I'm really like shifting my weight back and forth, kind of like a metronome, like tick, tock, right? So, forward, back. If I'm just doing this back and forth, all my weight to one foot, all my weight to another, you can tell when I might move towards you. If I've just moved towards you and all my weight is forwards, it's hard for me to keep moving forward, so you're probably pretty safe. If I've moved all my weight to my back foot, I can push off this back foot and come right towards you. So my goal, 50-50. Notice I've turned completely to the side here, or at least pretty close to it. If I keep here, that's much better for Muay Thai. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 targets available, right? And if I can turn to the side here, you got the temple, the ribs, the stomach, and that's it, right? So almost halving my targets for you. Keep it to the side, keep these hands out in front of you. I'll pause one more time here, look, right? Or hands tight there. That's my sparring stance. Then 1, 2. Notice on this one, I've still got my weight 50-50, but my toes rotated towards you because my hips did. And that's gonna give me a little extra reach with my punch. Let me do it to the side here. 1, 2. Now if I just punch here, right, if I hit your head with this hand's not gonna make it, right? But if I can turn those hips, I get that little extra reach and I'm gonna be able to get that punch to the ribs. So now that we've talked about all of that, let's get a chance to just drill this combo, that back knuckle punch, roundhouse kick, all right? We're gonna go 45 seconds to a minute-ish here on just this combo, okay? Face a different direction every time you can. If you're feeling really comfortable on one side, start to switch it up. I'm probably gonna stick to just one side to really practice and hone that side in, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into our sparring stance. Ready, and let's go. Remember that oftentimes it's better to just practice these things a little slower and make sure that the technique is there. Because the way you practice is the way that things are going to be performed, right? If I practice something really sloppy, then when I jump into a sparring round, it's probably going to be sloppy. But if I practice with a good hip rotation, with a hand stand up, keeping my hands up through my kick, even if it's at a slower speed, that's going to benefit me more in the long run. Good, we're about halfway there, guys. Let's keep going, about 30 more seconds. Keep a good sparring stance, weight distributed evenly, again, 50-50. Anytime you land, you're trying to get back to that 50-50. Got about 10 more seconds, everybody, keep it going. 5 more seconds. 1 more, last one, best one. And break. So again, guys, just a quick touch up on that combo and a little bit of an addition to it as well. Again, right, guys, that back knuckle punch is such an effective combo in sparring. You honestly cannot practice it enough. So, quick back knuckle punch with that added rear leg roundhouse kick at the end, sorry. Nice work on that, guys. That is it for our sparring. Let's take it up to the announcements next. One more reminder to everyone, it is tip testing week right now. So make sure that you either submit your video through Discord to do your tip testing, or if you'd like to do a private lesson instead, remember we have signups for those on our Google Sheet. You can find that link in the top left-hand sidebar of our Discord to comment your name on the time slot. Let me know if you want to do it in person or online, and we'll get your name written down in there. So again, if you'd like to do that, please feel free. It's always a blast to get to do those. And then finally, we have our Inspire Distance Learning Camps. If you guys are interested in that, getting either kids a chance to, or a chance to work on the schoolwork a little bit more, get a chance to get a little bit of exercise too, then contact us, send us an email, or give us a call, talk to Seafood Dan about the ins and outs of that and getting signed up for it. So that's it, guys. Awesome work today on our Pinions. Great work on the sparring combo as well. Let's go ahead and come to attention, and let's bow out. Class dismissed.